Which childhood crush defined your taste in women? Princess Leia was an early one, for sure. Then G.I. Joe's Baroness and Courtney Cox in the video for Born in the USA and the lame He-Man movie with Dolph Lundgren, and finally Liv Tyler in the video for Aerosmith's Crazy. Fast forward a couple of decades and I just realized that I have never had a relationship with a blonde. Most of my partners had very dark hair and a contrasting skin tone, and the few that didn't were still brunettes. My biggest by far influence wasn't a crush, it was my sister. I will never date a woman with any personality close to hers. She was and still is. She is 53 years old, Jekyll and Hyde in 5 minutes, backstabbing, moody beyond normal, snitch on everyone, and gets violent fast, and vindictive as hell. I watched firsthand growing up, what I never wanted in a woman. My best friend growing up wouldn't date a woman like her either. Probably Rula Lenska. Not sure if I had a thing for redheads before I first saw her, or after. She was mainly known for Rock Follies when I was young, but checking IMDb I think I would also have seen her in a few other shows, before that. She was also Polish nobility, birth name Rosa Maria Leopoldina Lubianska, and it's kinda interesting that I have ended up married to a Polish lady. This girl in my high school English class. She was my first female crush. I'm a queer woman, but she started my journey in understanding who and what I am. I don't really have a defined taste in women, I just like women. Seriously, I have a crush on Kelly Clarkson, Sandra Bullock, Melissa McCarthy, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, Salma Hayek, Shakira, Rihanna, Beyoncé, etc. etc. Audrey Hepburn. I 30 was too young to have known who she was the first time I saw her or would have cared, but a story my mom likes to tell was the first time I ever saw her in one of her movies. I was apparently chatting about something else with my mom at the time when my head snapped to the TV scene Audrey, and I apparently said, "Wow, that's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen." Elementary friend I had a huge crush on, and beautiful curly reddish hair. It was so sexy, especially when she wore these sleeveless loose shirts in the summer and she raised her hand to answer a question. At that moment I saw my first budding nipple. Never forget that moment. But so my wife of 20 years has naturally beautiful reddish curly hair but with big DD tits. Beautiful tits. I had 3 childhood crushes growing up that had the most impact on what I find attractive, but celebrity-wise, I guess I would have to go with Allison Hannigan and Buffy. It never actually occurred to me until now, but she was definitely there for those pivotal years. Not so much the look, though I'm a big fan of her body type, but just the wholesomeness of her. Oh, that's easy. Early childhood Satsuki Kusakabe, Christopher Ngully, Ami Mizuno. Middle childhood Ukiyoko Wonji, Rebecca Lee, and San Mononoke Haim. Late childhood CC, human version of Octavia Philharmonica or Octavia Melody if you're basic, Ron Masada girl type. I know this wasn't part of the question, but now Ji Yu Jeong, and Yagra Stonefist. Jennifer Love Hewitt. She's exactly the type of woman I'd fall in love to. She got the full package. She's so cute, but even if she only had the face, eyes, body and smile, she'd be my favorite. These are the main things that make me fall for a girl. 8-year-old me discovered New Horizons after watching her in the second Garfield movie, smiley face. Not really that Clint Eastwood age like 8-12, but I got into Ariana Grande with the age of like 13-14 and it's just my type now. Short, brunette, ponytail and also her makeup. Although I usually don't like makeup, I really like her makeup style. I still to this day think that she is the most beautiful woman on the universe. I am 18 now. Early 80s Doctor Who Lala Ward, Louise Jameson, and Mary Tom. Also Marcia Strassman from Welcome Back caught her with her glasses, of course. I caught the show in reruns and found it super boring, but she was compelling. In cartoon 80s Baroness from G.I. Joe. Jet black hair, glasses, foreign accent. What's not to love? I didn't have one, but I didn't mind talking to this white girl who was always so kind to me. I forgot her name, but she was my first actual friend before her parents divorced and she moved. Never saw or heard from her again ever since then. I ended up liking sweet but also kinda bad bitches because that's what her energy was. Smiley face. Livin' Maddie got me bricked up that I went with a specs girl down the deed many times. Too many times have I said many times, oh yeah, well a lot too much, and then I left her cause she was too much of a pain in the arse. Not worth the time. She's cheat, she doesn't listen, she likes to get her own way and is selfish. Most of my female high school teachers from the UK or Ireland. MILFs all around, or even young ones at the ripe age of 25. Still miss them wearing tight clothes on some days and getting uncomfortably close to me while explaining a concept and simultaneously their cleavage would pop out. Good times. Gabrielle Drake as Lieutenant Gay Ellis in UFO led to Katie Manning as Jo Grant in Doctor Who, then Elizabeth Sladen as Sarah Jane Smith in Doctor Who. Yeah, smart, confident, competent, kind, beautiful, and with a British accent, and here I am crushing hard over Emma Watson. I see the through line, Harriet the Spy. I'm old, I know. Grew up with Michelle Trachtenberg on Pete and Pete, Harriet the Spy, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it all culminated in seeing her tits in Euro Trip. I've got a thing for small redheads. Just ask my ring-redheaded girlfriend, Ravon. Though I have developed more of a taste for long hair now, but overall yeah. My first crush IRL was also a girl who had Raven's demeanor with short hair, and all after that from watching anime I developed a craze for long hair. As you could guess from my PFP, Jacqueline Bisset in The Deep. Beautiful lady, and the first wet t-shirt scene I ever saw. It had a profound, maybe even inspirational, effect on a certain 13-year-old boy. Kinda embarrassing that I was watching it with my parents at the time, but still. Girl I knew in high school, big beautiful eyes, like she always looked happy and excited. And her smile, she had that smile that was big, showed all her teeth. She smiled everywhere she went, and her walking into the room made everyone else happy. Christy McNichol. I was crushed when I found out I didn't have the right equipment for her. I later developed a crush on K.D. Lang. No joke. I thought I just liked tomboys, but deep down, I know I'm a lesbian trapped in a straight dude's body. Princess Leia. Oh, and while this was in high school back in the early 90s, PJ Harvey. She kind of messed me up, because if I couldn't be in love, and love as fiercely as she described love and longing in her songs, I didn't even want it. My first high school crush. She wasn't the first crush I ever had, but she was the first girl I liked who had such a bubbly, outgoing, and slightly ditzy personality, and that has been something I've been attracted to in women ever since. A real life one I had in 5th grade. Now hear me out. She was beautiful by all standards. She's still with me in school. She had green grayish eyes and long blonde hair, and she is in my grade but 1 year younger, and she's short, so Shelley Duvall. My wife looks like her. I was watching The Shining when I was like 12, and at some point stopped and realized that Shelley is really pretty. She's just got a unique face and is extraordinary looking. When I had in 5th grade, now hear me out, she was beautiful by all standards. She's still with me in school. She had green grayish eyes and long blonde hair, and she is in my grade but 1 year younger, and she's short, so Christina Ricci. I was 7 or 8 when I saw the Addams Family movie for the first time, and I thought she was the prettiest thing I'd ever seen. Lol. She's still one of the prettiest ladies alive, in my opinion. I can't think of any specific famous examples from the late 90s early 2000s of chubbier girls with tattoos and glasses, but I'm sure someone will mention at least one and it'll bring back memories. Catherine Zeta-Jones. I'm a straight woman, but she had me in awe as a kid, still does, and every woman I've found gorgeous since can in one way or another fall into the same category as her. I didn't have a childhood crush, but had an early adulthood crush, like 2008, 2014 Taylor Swift, Haley Steinfeld, and Victoria Justice, then Emma Watson, who are also Reddit's favorites. I feel like their mini-series of Anne of Green Gables I watched in the 80s might have given me a thing for redheads. But then again, redheads might just naturally be hot as fuck. There were two. 1. Anne Reining's character as Grace Farrell in Annie 1982, and 2. Carrie Fisher's character as Leia in Star Wars. Strong, confident brunettes are kinda my thing. Jessica Alba and Megan Fox. Megan's car scene in Transformers and Jessica Alba's scene in Good Luck Chuck where she beckons Dane Cook from the bed is vividly imprinted on my mind. My babysitter. Didn't realize how much it affected me until I hit 35 and all my friends were chasing after young 22-year-old girls at the clubs while I was hunting for the cougars. The teacher's pet in my middle school. Even though I actually hated this specific girl, I noticed later in life that the women that catch my attention have lots in common with her. Gillian Anderson. Yes, I started watching The X-Files really young. To this day my biggest celebrity crush since she's only gotten more beautiful with age. The finest of wines, relieved face. I never had a childhood crush. The only crush I could think of will be Caitlyn from Pokémon Black 2 and White 2, and that wasn't until I was in high school. I want to say, 4 women and I'm about to age myself. Vanity, Linda Carter, and Rachel Ticotin let me know how hetero I am. Anna Nicole Smith let me know I liked bigger women. 2. A blonde, blue-eyed girl named Haley that went to the same daycare as me when I was 7. Up until I met my wife, all of my exes were blonde with blue or hazel eyes. Salma Hayek. Desperado. I grew up in North Dakota where we were all tall slender Scandinavian German blondes with understated curves. She was next fucking level. Jenny Agutter, Logan's Run, Walkabout, and American Werewolf in London. Now you come to think of it, well-spoken, good-looking and slightly kinky, tick, 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 and a Sophia Robin bridge to Terabithia. She saw life as an adventure and didn't take bullshit from people. Was truly heartbreaking to see her die on that movie. It has to be a combination of Sailor Mercury and Sailor a goth girl, but I don't know who. Someone said Shigo and Walla hot. I don't think she was. It was some blonde I saw early when I was little and bye-bye. My first neuron activation still plays a role to this day. 2 of the 3 girls I've dated are blonde. Crying face, crying face, crying face, crying face. Natalie Portman and Leon the Professional. She's 4 years older than me. But since seeing that movie as a kid, I've been a sucker for a damsel in distress. 70s kid here. A combination of Batgirl Yvonne Craig from the 60s Batman series, Marsha Brady from the Brady Bunch, and Bailey from WKRP in Cincinnati. American Idol Season 6 contestant Haley Scarnado. She ignited my 11-year-old penis. Pretty much never watched Idol again after she was voted off. I hate to say it, but Ramona Flowers, I had zero interest in women until I saw her. Then it was like a switch was flipped in my adolescent brain. Gillian Anderson in X-Files is the reason that I worked out I'm bi as a teen, and she's somehow got even more attractive over the years too.